Hey everyone, Scott Player Popcorn fan here, and for this video, I saw the Nosferatu movie last night. I saw it with my sister actually, and this is an interesting movie. I think this is arguably one of the better horror films I've seen in a while actually. I thought this was a surprisingly really good film, even though it was a little interesting, I guess you could say. Okay, Nosferatu. I'm going to reserve something about this film because I don't want to spoil anything. I don't. I'll mention the original film that came out like 100 years ago because, you know, the original film, the original Nosferatu movie that came out literally 100 years ago, like 1922 was when it came out. It was a silent film, and it was one of the movies that kind of started the whole Universal monster craze back in the day, in a way, and that was before the 1930s. So, the original film, I'm not going to say anything else about it or the original source material that inspired the original film. I don't want to talk about that at all in this video, because if I do, it could potentially spoil the story of this new film. So I ain't gonna mention the original source material by name, because once I do, you guys will probably know the story. So zip zap on the original source material. I'm not gonna mention the original novel at all. Okay, so Nosferatu, this new film, and the original, both kind of like the original film that came out like back in 1922. It was a silent film, and it was actually produced in Germany. So, and it's a funny little ironic little Easter egg with this new film, because this new film takes place in the 1830s, so it's a period piece, and it takes place in Germany, which is a really fascinating thing, kind of creating this kind of old school, timeless kind of feel. And I really like that, I like the light, like the lighting, the cinematography. I thought was very gothic horror in a sense, and you don't get that a lot in horror films. There's like this kind of gothic horror feel that this movie has, with the lighting, the cinematography, and even some of the score that's created with this film that's a little bit more melancholic and kind of haunting and creepy. And I like that. And another thing I like about this movie is that despite it being a bit of a 2-hour long film, I like the slow burn kind of feel to it. This is very much the kind of movie that's kind of a slow burn psychological body horror film in a way, and I mean that in the best possible way. I thought this was a great film, and it has quite the star-studded cast too. This was the first movie I've seen Johnny Depp's daughter in, Lily Rose Depp. Lily Rose Depp played the lead character in this movie, Ellen, and I thought she was phenomenal in her role. I thought she was great. And also Nicholas Hoult as Ellen's husband. I thought he was great. I thought he was amazing. Like, everyone in the cast was great. Like Willem Dafoe, I thought he was great as this professor character. I really liked him, and he was one of my favorite characters in this film. And there are moments in this film where it really does like build up that creep factor without any jump scares. That is the thing that I like the least about horror films. Jump scares, I don't like them very much, and this movie didn't have any. Like, it just kept it building on the tension and the reaction, like the genuine reaction to the characters' faces of what's going on in front of them was what helped create that tension and that kind of fear that you're feeling from the actors. And that's what I loved about this movie the most. I don't want to spoil anything in regards to in regards to the story, so I ain't gonna say anything about that. But the production too, like, I really liked Bill Skarsgård's character, in regards to how he looked. I thought he was like accurate enough to the original 1922 silent film, and that character in the original, he was accurate enough, but also different enough, in this more, like 21st century production, and it worked. Like, and I liked how they didn't show him too much in the movie. Like, they showed him in the shadows or in a really close up of his eyes, and I liked the way they handled that, and also just the way this creature just kind of came off, and the way he kind of played off of Nicholas Holt's character throughout the first half of the movie, I thought was really fascinating and creepy, because he had that creepy voice, and just kept creating the tension and building upon it and the suspense, and that's what I love the most about this movie. And I thought it was really well done. The story I thought was really good, and I just don't want to mention anything about this story because I don't want to spoil it for those of you that are gonna maybe see it. So yeah, this was a phenomenal movie, easily one of the better horror films I've seen this year. And also, there's this one character in this movie that I wasn't sure about when he was introduced, and then he was kind of played as sort of an assistant kind of a character to Bill Skarsgård's creature character, and he was kind of crazy, like in the head, and he was in that kind of, I don't know, what, mental asylum, I think. But I thought that character was interesting, and there was some things about his character that creeped me out, definitely. And also, I just think that, with where this story ended, I wasn't expecting it. Like, I wasn't expecting how this movie ended. But it also made sense because Willem Dafoe's character kind of teased Ellen's kind of role in this story by the end, and kind of gave her the hint of what to do. And I thought that was really fascinating, and it paid off. Like, I thought this had a great ending for what it was. It was sad, but also beautiful at the same time. And one other thing I have to mention about this movie is that this movie was surprisingly seductive, I guess is the word. This is a rated R film, not for the faint of heart. It is a horror film, and it's rated R. And I liked that the more subtle kind of violence that you would kind of expect in a horror film. I mean, it is there. Like, there is enough like kills in this movie in which it's kind of graphic enough, but not too much. And I kind of like that, kind of like a blend of just being pure tension building, and then like actual like legitimate like kills like you would see in a slasher film. It had a decent balance, and I thought that was well done. The makeup, the creature effects, and also like the production itself, like I was saying, and how you really can like just absorb yourself into the film in that 1800s setting, and it feels timeless as a result. And that's what I loved about this movie. My only complaint I really have is that it's 2 hours long, and most horror films are not 2 hours long. And like in the theater, like I was in the front row seats with my sister, and because I was in the front row seat in the theater, I had my eyes glued to the screen the entire time for 2 hours, and it kind of made my head hurt a little. But I was locked into the screen, and I was locked into the film, and I was hooked from beginning to end. And this is the kind of movie that I want more of in the theaters. And yeah, this was an incredible film. Easily an A for me. This was a great film. I loved it. Even though there were aspects of it that kind of creeped me out a little, and it was also a little bit disturbing for being a kind of a, like I was saying, like a body horror, a seductive kind of a film. And I hope once you guys see the movie, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, this was a really well done film, and easily one of my favorite horror films that has come out this year. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. I hope you guys had a great weekend. And I can't believe it. Next year is New Year's. It's almost 2025. I can't believe that. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, take care and peace.